Namaskar, dear students. Prayers to Ma Sharda. Let us recall last lecture. We are studying Gauss's law. Okay. The mathematical expression of Gauss's law is phi equals to surface integration vector E dot vector ds equals to sigma q upon epsilon naught. Okay, where the flux phi is the flux linked with Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface is the surface enclosing charges. Sigma q is the net charge enclosed. Means algebraic sum of all the charges. Epsilon naught is permittivity of vacuum. This is Gauss's law. Okay. Now there are main 4 applications of Gauss's law that we have to study. See, we can obtain electric field produced by a point charge using Coulomb's law. We can obtain electric field produced by a point charge by Coulomb's law. The formula was kq by r square. But if we have continuous charge distribution, then to obtain electric field due to continuous charge distribution, we have to use Gauss's law. Okay, that is the importance of Gauss's law. Now we have to study 4 special cases, 4 special applications of Gauss's law to obtain electric field produced by continuous charge distribution. First is this, okay, linear distribution, okay, linear charge distribution set on a very long wire, okay, theoretically infinite length. Next, continuous charge distribution on a plane of infinite area. Third, continuous charge distribution on a shell, okay, hollow sphere. And fourth, continuous charge distribution in a solid sphere. Okay, everywhere there is a charge inside, outside, on surface. Okay, so 4 cases we have to study using Gauss's law. I am repeating. First, to find electric field produced by linear charge distribution on very long wire or say of length infinite. Okay. Second, continuous charge distribution on a plane of infinite area. Third, continuous charge distribution on a hollow sphere or say shell. And fourth, continuous charge distribution on a solid sphere. Okay, we are discussing first one today. The question is, obtain the expression of electric field by a straight wire of infinite length and with linear charge density lambda. See, here they have given linear charge density in question. That means it is uniform charge distribution. Okay, so see, there are 2 figures. So don't see both at a time. First of all, consider this figure. Okay, this is a continuous charge distribution on a wire of infinite length. Okay, in order to show infinity, this type of dotted lines at the ends we have to draw. And normally we consider positive charge distribution. Okay, there are reasons. First of all, positive charge is more stable compared to negative. Okay, so this is a positive charge distribution on a wire of infinite length. Okay, now what they have given? They have given lambda, that is linear charge density on this length. We know that linear charge density equals to charge divided by length. So total charge on this wire is sigma q, and the length we will consider this one. Okay, actually the length is, they have given infinite length, so we have to consider a small length of it. Okay, that is small l. So lambda equals to sigma q upon l. So sigma q equals to lambda into l. That means the charge here, okay, this charge is sigma q or say lambda into l. Okay, now see what will happen. That see, suppose I consider this charge, okay, and I consider a point p dash at distance r, means having position vector small r, okay, from this charge. So we know that for a point charge, electric field intensity is kq by r square, so it depends only on distance. Okay, so that means if I rotate this vector, okay, pointing p dash, if I rotate this vector, okay, like this, if I rotate this vector, then at the circumference of the circle, at all the points, magnitude of electric field will be same because they are at same distance. That distance is r. Okay, so this p dash, p double dash, all points have equal magnitude of electric field intensity. Okay. Okay, now let us consider 2 points, P1 and P2. Due to this P1, at this point, electric field intensity, that means force on positive unit charge, will be in this direction, that is vector E1. And due to this positive charge, it will be in this direction, that is vector E2. So this is vector sum of E1 and E2, according to parallelogram method. And that is radial and outward. Radial and outward. Perpendicular to the length means radial and outward. Okay? So this figure is over. Now we are obtaining the formula for the electric field. So we have to consider this figure. Okay? See here. Here, see, we have taken positive charge. So lambda will be positive. If lambda is positive, electric field at every point is radial and outward. Now see, if I consider negative charge, what will happen? If I take negative charge, what will happen? Electric field here will be inward. Okay, perpendicular to the length and inward. Because if I put here a positive charge, it will be attracted. Okay, so if lambda is less than 0, electric field at every point is radial and inward. If lambda is positive, electric field at every point is radial and outward. Okay, now consider this figure. Okay, here we have considered the total length is infinity. Okay, but we are considering a small part of it because now we know that for infinite length, the effect is same at distance small r. So we can consider a small length of it. Okay, so this is small length. See, I have to, this is the linear charge distribution. Okay, so I have to consider a Gaussian surface enclosing it. Gaussian surface enclosing it. So that will be cylindrical. Okay, so this is cylindrical Gaussian surface. Okay, enclosing the charge on line, and we have considered this L length, so charge inside it will be lambda L. Okay, now I will rub this because it may make figure more complicated. Now let us first of all consider two ends of the Gaussian surface. Okay, two ends, this end and this end. Here, electric field is outward. Okay, and surface area is in this direction, perpendicular to the surface. E is in this direction, S2 is in this direction, that is area of this surface. Okay, both are perpendicular. So flux linked with this side of the cylinder, that is normal to the length, okay, will be equal to ES2 cos 90 will be equal to 0. So flux linked with this end is 0. Similarly, flux linked with this end, see here. Okay, E is in this direction, but S will be, area will be in this direction, that is vector S1. So again, phi1 equals to ES1 cos 90, so phi1 equals to 0. So flux linked with two ends of the cylindrical Gaussian surface is 0 for both the ends. Okay, that means the flux, okay, is radial coming out of line and radial to it. Okay, like this. Okay, so consider a point P here. Again, we can consider point P at anywhere because it is similar, okay, due to symmetric distribution. Okay, see here, this point P. So consider a small surface element. The area is vector S, shown perpendicular, and vector E is also in this direction. And this is position vector of the considered point, that is vector small r, and unit vector in this direction is n cap. Okay, now see, first of all, we know that phi equals to ES. Okay, integration ds is S, so ES can be written as ES cos 0 because E and S are in same direction. But what is S? S equals to area of open cylinder. Area of open cylinder, and that is 2 pi RL. Okay, so E into 2 pi RL into 1. Okay, so phi equals to E into 2 pi RL, and that will be equal to sigma q upon epsilon naught, but sigma q is lambda L, we just derived. So lambda L upon epsilon naught, so LL will be cancelled, so E will be equal to lambda upon 2 pi R epsilon naught. So this equation, this formula shows that it depends on distance r. Okay, that is, distance is perpendicular to length. Okay, now if I multiply and divide this by 2, it will become 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into 2 lambda by r, but this is k, so can be written as 2k lambda upon r. What is the direction of vector E? It is this direction. So with direction, if you want to write, we have to write vector E equals to lambda upon 2 pi r epsilon naught r into n cap. Okay, prepare well. Bye.